Your results from Class 17 Fine Wool Crosses. Placing 6th from Reynolds County 4-H, Trevor Gibbs. Placing 5th from Lubbock County 4-H, Racy Rogers. 4th, representing Tom Green County 4-H, Hadley Stoltz. 3rd, from Canyon Lake FFA, Dylan Wunderlich. 2nd, representing Reynolds County 4-H, Royce Cook. And your class winner from Taylor County 4-H, Ashton Cooley. Congratulations. Your TLBA results from the same class, placing 6th, Trevor Gibbs from Smithwick Club Lambs and Miles. 5th, Racy Rogers, bred by Smithwick Club Lambs and Miles. 4th, Hadley Stoltz, bred by Struby Livestock and Wall. 3rd, Dylan Wunderlich, breeder is Smithwick Club Lambs and Miles. 2nd, Royce Cook, breeder is Cook Club Lambs and Ballinger. And your class winner, Ashton Cooley, breeder is Smithwick Club Lambs and Miles. Congratulations. Folks, if you have watchers at home, the live feed is back up and going for the time being. Again, our live feed of the Lamb Show is back up and going if you have folks at home that want to take a look. Thank you, Todd Swift and Kyle Smith, both for your IT work, getting the internet back up. We appreciate your expertise in the matter. Let's give these kiddos a hand as they exit. Thank them for their work. Heavyweight fine wool crosses, please make your way to the holding area now. Heavyweight fine wool crosses, that's class number 19. Your 6th and final fine wool cross class. You need to be in the holding area now. We have a few kids that didn't quite make the sale, did a great job. Let's give them a hand, please.
I think really three lambs that you can certainly debate in your mind in this class. Once again, I think I'm going to use the sheep that I think suits me the best and in my mind puts the most right things together. He's a lamb that when he moves around the ring, he puts his feet and legs where they need to be. You can see he's elevated up through his front end. You like the way his neck and shoulder tie together. And then when you stand behind him and you get your hands on him, just really good behind his shoulders. He's got the nice turn to the center part of his body. He progressively gets wider as you work your cray across his loin. He's a big-ended sheep. He's wide from his hooks to his pins. Handles a great deal of depth and dimension to his leg. The lamb here in second place, you got to love the shape and expression in this sheep. I guess when I get him side by side, I see him being just a tick more mature in terms of the base of his chest. He's a little shorter fronted, a little rounder in his shoulder than the lamb that began, but really a shapely sheep as you view him from behind. You work your way across his top, just tons of expression and natural thickness. The lamb here in third, probably the biggest ribbed lamb that we have to work with in terms of being opened up through the center part of his body. He, much like the lamb in second, gets a little shorter fronted. He wants to set down in his shoulder just a touch when we put him in motion. But again, extremely shapely down his top, across his rack, over his loin. And he's also a big-ended lamb like the two that started the class. The lamb here in fourth place, he's a little more conventional in his kind. Maybe he's a little shorter from the last rib back, shorter from his hooks to his pins. But again, he's one that certainly from the side view profile, you like him the way his neck and shoulder tie together. He's a sheep that's really soft in his spine. You might want to tighten him up just a tick. He wants to sway his back just a hair. But again, he's one that's got some natural thickness, some muscle working in him as well. The lamb here that in fifth place, a sheep that really, I think when you compare him to the four above him, just needs to be opened up from the ground, opened up through the center part of his body, through his stifle. But again, one that's very attractive from the side. You like the fact that he runs uphill. You like the way his neck and shoulder tie together. He's extra long from the last rib back. The lamb that finishes the class, I think much like the lamb that was in fifth place, let's just open his hip up just a tick from his hooks to his pins, square his dock out just a touch, and give him some more lower leg dimension in comparison to those other sheep. Thank you.
If you have a heavyweight fine wool cross, this is your last call. You need to be in the holding area now. If you have a heavyweight fine wool cross, you need to be in the holding area now. Your results from Class 18 fine wool crosses. Placing 6th from Crockett County 4-H, Claire Bean. 5th from Runnels County 4-H, Storm Skelton. 4th, representing McCullough County 4-H, Rustin Fuchs. 3rd, from Tom Green County 4-H, Steely Blanick. And 2nd, from Milam County 4-H, Kinley Mitters. And your class winner from Valverde County 4-H, Paige Quelia. Your TLBA results from Class 18. 6th, Claire Bean. Breeder is Chandler Club Lambs in Ozona. 5th, Storm Skelton. Breeder is Skelton Club Lambs in Ballinger. 4th, Rustin Fuchs. Breeder is Stoltz Sheep Company in Menard. 3rd, Steely Blanick. Breeder is Struby Livestock in Wall. 2nd, Kinley Metters. Breeder is Stoltz Sheep Company in Menard. And your class winner, Paige Quelia. Breeder Horwood Show Lambs in Sterling City. Congratulations. Please give these kids a hand as they exit the arena. Fine wool cross, class winners and second places, please make your way to the holding area. Fine wool cross, class winners and second places, please come on to the holding area. You're allowed one assistant or helper back behind the grandstand here. Needs to be a parent, a 4-H agent, or an FFA advisor. Class winning fine wool crosses and your second places, y'all need to come on back to the holding area now, please. Let's give these kids a hand for making it so far in a tough class. First place, lightweight final lacrosse. First place, lightweight final lacrosse. You need to be in the holding area now. We're missing you.
Hey, once again, a nice pair of crosses to finish this division. Sheep I'm going to use, I think, just really excels the class in terms of muscle and shape and correctness of finish. He's really good through his forerib and down his top. As you can see, he's got that rack that stands up on top of his spine. He's wide and square from his hooks to his pins. He's got a nice curve to his stifle, and he has a great deal of inner thigh and lower leg muscle. The lamb here in second, really appreciate him up through his neck and shoulder, the way he's built through his rib. He's dead level in his spine. I think when it gets down to it and you put your hands on him, he just falls short in terms of total muscle volume in comparison to the lamb that began. Lamb here in third, maybe one that's not as crisp or as just in terms of his shape, right behind his shoulder or over his loin. And he's a sheep that I'd open up, I think, compared to the two that began right out of his hip, out of his dock. And let's give him some more inner thigh and lower leg dimension. The lamb here in fourth place is one that, to me, gets a little deeper in the base of his chest. He's a little rounder in his shoulder. You really appreciate the natural thickness that he has and the length from the last rib back. The sheep here in fifth, again, maybe a little more mature in the base of his chest. He's a little out on the corners of his shoulders in comparison to some of the lambs in the class. And I think, once again, I'd open him up out of his dock, square him up from his hooks to his pins, give him some more center and lower leg dimension in comparison to those four above him. And then the sheep here that finishes in the top six here is one that really we just need to open him up in comparison to the other sheep, make him wider from the ground, give him a better turn through the center part of his body, and let's give him some more center dimension to his leg as well. Thank you.
Your results from Fine Wool Cross, class number 19, placing 6th, Kaysen Knight, representing Breckenridge FFA, placing 5th from Mansfield FFA, Kate Phillips, 4th from Runnels County 4-H, Wyatt Clemens, 3rd from Live Oak County 4-H, Jenna Lee, and 2nd from Llano County 4-H, Skylar Brown, and your class winner, representing Johnson County 4-H, Brandon White. TOBA results from the same class, placing 6th, Kaysen Knight, bred by 2 Broke Ewes and out of Anson. In 5th, Kate Phillips, breeder is Scott and Richard Long from Sterling City. 4th, Wyatt Clemens, breeder is Smithwick Club Lambs from Miles. 3rd, Jenna Lee, breeder is Stoltz Sheep Company from Menard. 2nd, Skylar Brown, breeder is Struby Livestock in Wall. And your class winner, Brandon White, breeder is Smithwick Club Lambs in Miles. I'd like to introduce your class winners in respective seconds. Winning class number 14 is Summer Conway, representing Springtown FFA. Her parents are Brandon and Shay. Your second place from that class is Kinley Goodlow, representing Reagan County 4-H. Her parents are Callie and Troy. Winning class 2 is Kinley Holscher, representing Highland FFA. Her parents are Alan and Shay. Disa Drennan was second in that class, representing Runnels County 4-H. Her parents are Charlie and Tara. Mackenzie Evans won class 16. She represents Burnett County 4-H. Her parents are Brandon and Julia. Second place in that class is Michaela Wise, representing Coleman County 4-H. Her parents are Nathan and Amanda. Your class 17 winner is Ashton Cooley, representing Taylor County 4-H. Her parents are JD and Amy. Your second place in class 17 was Royce Cook, representing Runnels County 4-H. His parents are Cody and Paige. Your class 18 winner is Paige Qualia, representing Valverde County 4-H. Her parents are Michael and Leanne. Second place in class 18 was Kinley Metters, representing Milam County 4-H. Her parents are Brian and Shannon. Class number 19, your blue ribbon winner was Brandon White, representing Johnson County 4-H. Parents are Mike and Tricia. And your second place in your heavyweight class is exhibited by Skylar Brown, representing Llano County 4-H. Parents are Sean and Karina. Congratulations to all these kids. Y'all put your hands together. Thank them for a job well done. You have a lightweight Dorper. You need to please make your way to the holding area now. Lightweight Dorpers to the holding area now.
Well, let's put our hands together for the final cross exhibitors. I mean, it's really, really hard not to find one that you don't like out here. I mean, the quality is just so good. We start down here with the lightweight, the winner of Class 1. Like I said, just really opened up from the ground up, a sheep that's just packed full of muscle, and you certainly appreciate the way he handles. Has a great touch to him, a great turn to the center part of his leg. Just an awfully nice sheep. Winner of Class 2, a sheep that's really elevated in its front end. It's good in its chest floor. You know, one that maybe from the side view, as you look at him, doesn't give us quite as much dimension through its stifle, but boy, I tell you what, when you get your hands on this dude, just awfully good in terms of shape and expression, but across its rack and over its loin, and certainly has plenty of a hip shape to suit me. And then we come down here to Class 3, a sheep that really balances very nicely. I mean, he's good in terms of his neck and shoulder. He's really opened up through the center part of his body, and really I think one of the heavier muscled ones that we've seen today in terms of some rack shape, some width across his loin, and some dimension out of his hip. And as you can see, he's got some dimension through the center lower part of his leg that certainly can't be rivaled by many in this drive. And then the lamb that wins the 4th class, really a pretty profiling kind of a sheep. He maybe gets a little flatter through the center part of his body, a little flatter through the center part of his leg when we compared him to some of these other class, but one that's just skeletally built so good. He's wide from the ground up, a sheep that certainly has enough depth and dimension through his hip, and certainly enough shape out of his rack and his loin to suit me. And then we get to the Class 5 winner, a sheep that really puts a lot of good things together for us. He's athletic in his look. He's good in his chest floor, the way his neck and shoulder transition together. And I think really when we put things all into perspective, he's probably the if not the heaviest muscled, the second heaviest muscled sheep out here in terms of shape and dimension, right behind his shoulder, width across his loin. He's really good from his hooks to his pins, and very square out of his dock. And then the heavyweight here, again, one that just a meat sheep deluxe. I mean, he's so good behind his shoulder. He's got that rack that stands up on top of his spine, and you can see the dimension that he'd handle through his hip. So with that, I'm going to take one more look, and we'll select your grand reserves. But thank you, and congratulations.
Your champion fine wheel cross was exhibited by Paige Qualia, and your reserve champion fine wheel cross was exhibited by Mackenzie Evans. Congratulations. Your lightweight Dorpers, class number 22, are coming into the arena at this time. 22 entries in class. They range in weight from 100 to 112 pounds. Let's give these kids a hand as they exit the ring, please. Let's give these kids a hand for making it so far in a tough class. Class 23, second class of Dorpers, you need to be in the holding area now. Class 23, this is going to be your last call. Second class of Dorpers, class 23, last call.
As first class of Dorpers, certainly a nice group. The sheep that I'm going to use, I think, much like some of the other classes that we've done today, that really I think the one that puts the most right things together to win. A sheep that's maybe not ideal in terms of the base of its chest, but when you get your hands on it, it's really good behind its shoulder, across its loin. As you can see, it's very wide and square from its hooks to its pins and gives you a great deal of dimension through its leg. Lamb here in second place, without question, very strong down its top line. A sheep that I'd like to see a little longer from the last rib back. A great deal of dimension and expression out of this sheep's hip. The lamb here in third place, one that's really good in terms of its neck and shoulder, the turn to the center part of its body. I think when we compare them to those other two, just falls short in terms of total volume and natural thickness across its rack and over its loin. The lamb here that finishes the top four, I think a sheep that gives you that added length of body, one that's good in terms of its chest floor. I think it's got the same issues as the lamb in third. We'd certainly give it some more dimension right behind its shoulder and out of its hip and compared to those three that stood ahead of it. Thank you.
Class number 23 is entering the arena at this time. There are 23 entries in class that range in weight from 114 to 124 pounds. This will serve as your first call for heavyweight Dorpers, class number 24. First call, heavyweight Dorpers, class number 24. Your results from Class 22, placing fourth from Thrall FFA, Carly Pasantes. Placing third from Lampasas County 4-H, Tatum Duncan. In second from Hill County 4-H, Brazos Blue. And your class winner from Swisher County 4-H, Claire Martin. Congratulations. Your TLVA results from the same class. In third, Tatum Duncan, breeder is Jade Livestock in Mason. In second, Brazos Blue, breeder is Wilson Family Livestock in Stephenville. And your class winner is shown by Claire Martin, and the breeder is Wilson Family Livestock from Stephenville. Congratulations. Class number 24, heavyweight Dorpers, please come to the holding area now. Class 24, heavyweight Dorpers to the holding area now. Let's thank these kids for all their work as they exit, please. You have a heavyweight Dorper. You need to be in the holding area now. Heavyweight Dorper, you need to be in the holding area now. We have a few kids that made it really far in a tough class. Let's show them some love as they exit, please.
Second class of Dorpers. I really think we've got a pair of awfully nice lambs to begin with. Lamb I'm going to start with, I think, once again, I think he is the most complete. He's right in terms of his neck and shoulder, his chest floor. He's a sheep that's very good to the touch as you read him through his forerib and down his spine, and certainly enough natural thickness and width compared to some of the others. The lamb here in second place, maybe a little softer to the touch, I think, than the lamb that began, but equally as good in terms of muscularity and width of base. A sheep that's got a really nice turn to the center part of his rib, really flat and level down his spine. You certainly appreciate that about him. The lamb here in third place, I think he just really runs into these two, and we'd just like to pull him apart, make him wider, give him some more natural base width, but really good in terms of his shape, right behind his shoulders, some expression across his rack and over his loin. And as you can see, very good in terms of some dimension through his stifle, his inner thigh, and his lower leg. The white lamb or white Dorper here that finishes us out, the top four, a sheep that gets a little deeper and more mature in the base of his chest in comparison to those three that started the class. He's a little flatter through the center part of his body, but again, one that super high volume in terms of muscularity as you work your way down his top and out of his hip. Thank you.
This will serve as your absolute last call, heavyweight Dorpers. Last call, heavyweight Dorpers. You need to be in the holding area now. Absolute last call, heavyweight Dorpers to the holding area now. Your results from Dorper class number 23. Placing fourth from Lampasas FFA, Alyssa Faust. In third, representing Harper FFA, Emma Strickland. Second, from Denton County 4-H, Evan Sylvester. And your class winner from Medina County 4-H is Hadley Johnson. Congratulations. Your TLBA results from the same class. In fourth, Alyssa Faust, breeder is Kelly Livestock in Lipan. In second, Evan Sylvester, breeder is Kelly Livestock in Lipan. And your class winner is Hadley Johnson, breeder is Kelly Livestock in Lipan. Congratulations. Give these kids a hand as they exit the arena. We appreciate their work. Let's give these kids a hand that made it so far in a tough class. Our previous class winners and seconds in the Dorper division, please come to the holding area now. Again, previous class winners and seconds in the Dorper division, come on to the holding area now.
In the heavyweight Dorper class, this guy that wins certainly looks the part. Just really, really good in terms of his rib shape. He's up in his chest floor. You like the length and extension up through his neck and the way it transitions into his shoulder. And then right behind his shoulder, he's got some expression. He progressively gets wider, big hipped kind of a sheep. You can certainly see the dimension that he'd handle through his stifle, his lower leg, and his inner thigh. Really good, firm handling lamb here in second place. A sheep that maybe not quite as nice in terms of the way his shoulder sets in him or lays in him as the lamb that began, but just tremendous in terms of touch. He's right in terms of the amount of conditioning he handles through his forerib and down his top. Really expressive in his rack shape. He's got some width to his loin, and you certainly like the dimension out of his hip as well. The lamb here in third, again, I think when we compare him to those two that started, he just needs to be pulled apart wider. He's really a nicely balanced sheep. He certainly looks the part from the side view profile. You'd just like to open him up from his hooks to his pins, give him some more depth and dimension to his leg in comparison to those two that started. The lamb here in fourth place, again, much like the one here in a third, just one that you just like to open him up through his upper rump just a touch, square him up out of his dock. But again, just tremendous in terms of turn to the center part of his body, the way his rack stands up on top of his spine. He's very flat and level in his design as well. Thank you.
Attention in the lamb barn. We have an exhibitor from Montgomery County 4-H who apparently their lamb has jumped out of the pen and it has been captured, and it is In pin number 284 currently, the validation tag on that escapee is 27326. Again, Montgomery County 4-H, you had a sheep that jumped out. We have that sheep in pin number 284. The validation number of that sheep is 27326. Please come visit with us before or after. Make sure that that sheep gets back to the proper place. Your results from your heavyweight Dorpers, placing fourth, Tyler Hill, representing Valverde County 4-H. In third, representing Hockley County 4-H, Trace DeArmond. In second, representing Schulenburg FFA, Blake Meyer. And your class winner from San Saba County 4-H is Peyton Hanley. Congratulations. Your TLBA results from the prior class. In fourth, Tyler Hill. Breeder is Hill Ranch Dorpers in Del Rio. In third, Trace Darman. Breeder is Kelly Livestock in Lipan. Second is Blake Meyer. Breeder is Kelly Livestock in Lipan. And your class winner is Peyton Hanley. Breeder is Kelly Livestock in Lipan. Congratulations. I'd like to introduce your class winners in respective seconds. In your lightweight class, your winner is Claire Martin, representing Swisher County 4-H. Her parents are Corey and Tori Dunn. Your second in that class is exhibited by Brazos Blue. He represents Hill County 4-H. Parents are Raymond and Courtney. Your class 23 winner is Hadley Johnson, representing Medina County 4-H. Parents are Tanya and Justin. Your second place in class 23 is Evan Sylvester, representing Denton County 4-H. His parents are TJ and Tanya. Your heavyweight class winner is Peyton Hanley. She represents San Saba County 4-H. Her parents are Connie and Mick Hanley. And your second place in heavyweight class was Blake Meyer, representing Schulenburg FFA. Blake's parents are Thomas and Virginia. Congratulations to all these exhibitors. Y'all give them a hand.
Again, let's congratulate the Dorper exhibitors. Certainly a tremendous amount of Dorper lambs. You know, we talked about the lightweight, a sheep that maybe I think when we get him out here, he gets a little deeper sided, but just tremendous to the touch. As you read him through his forerib, he's exceptional in terms of shape and expression across his rack and over his loin. And again, you can see how wide-based he is, and he's got that nice turn to the center of his body. He's one that you'd certainly elevate his chest floor just a touch, I think, in comparison to some of these other lambs that are out here. Winner of Class 2, again, we said how balanced he was. He's a sheep that maybe could be extended up through his front end just a touch, but just really, really good when you get your hands on him in terms of correctness of finish. As you read him through his forerib and down his spine, again, very expressive, very shapely across his rack and over his loin. And as you can see, he's got a great deal of center and lower dimension to his leg. The lamb that wins the heavyweight class, again, one that's just awfully good in terms of his front end. Is a sheep that's got some athleticism to him. You like the way his neck and shoulder tie together. He's tucked up in his chest floor. And again, when you stand behind him, he's one that progressively gets wider. He's got some expression across his rack. He's wide and flat across his loin, and certainly very square from his hooks to his pins. So with that, I congratulate the Dorper exhibitors, and I'll select your grand and reserve. Thank you.